Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. Excuse me. So Shonen Jump dropped, at least some Shonen Jump dropped a little bit earlier this week than expected. I assume because it's because of the holiday break that's been planned coming up for the new year. So usually when this happens, they usually tend to drop the chapters like a couple of days early for the holidays. I think Spy Family is the only one still on regular schedule to be dropping Sunday. In the meantime, I did get around to the latest Akane Banashi chapter today as well. I also got around to the latest volume of Monsters, which I enjoyed thoroughly. It was really, really good to come back to that. But apart from that, today we're also going to get around to the next volume of Bride Story as well. But now that I'm caught up with the other two read-throughs I've done on the channel, which is Battle Angel Alita and Black Hammer, it's finally time to kind of move on to the next one, which is going to be Berserk. Is going to be the big series I've been covering on this channel. Now this is a series that has had like critical acclaim for a long time now. In the past, I've tried to kind of get into it, and for like one reason or another, usually just the accessibility of volumes from the library. I never just had a chance to kind of fully get into the series. But because I've now got the deluxe volumes, as you can see on my bookshelf, because I've heard so many great things I've seen recommended from a lot of close friends and mutuals, I decided I'd give it a try as well. So look forward to that being the next read through that will start on this channel sometime next week. But yeah, a lot of good content going to be coming your way in the next little while. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But without further ado, let us dive into it with Bride Story Volume 6 by Kaoru Mori. As we have chapter 28, Comparing Heights. Yeah, Central Asia in the 19th century. Not long after Amir, 20, came to wed and live with Karluk Ahon, 12. The foals had become yearlings, the lambs are growing their first thick coat of fleece, right around the time when both bride and groom were about to mark another year gone by. You have, I'm next, me too, do me too. Jeff, hey, don't pull at me, I've got a knife here. Jeff, now don't move. He's the older brother, kind of just marking their growth charts on the doorway. It's like, did I grow up? He's like, yeah, just a little. He's like, do me again. It's like, Rostam, I just measured you. And I see Karluk just glancing at them, glancing over at them as they go, you don't grow that fast. See, it's the same. And as he sees Karluk watching him, he's like, you want me to measure you? He's like, yes, please. And you see Amir just walking by watching this. It's like, there, that'll do it. It's like, did I grow? It's like, you sure did. Well, look at that. You've grown that much since the last time we measured. Just like a little gap. It's like, wow, that's so cool. And he's like looking all proud of himself. As you act, oh, that right. He's grown that much. You don't notice when you see him every day. You have this one's me. He's like, you certainly have grown. Not so long ago, you were half my height. That was a really long time ago. It's like, he may outgrow his father eventually. It's like, we can't be sure of that. It's like, no, it's true. All his uncles were very tall. And he's like, come to think of it, my clothes are feeling a little tight. And Amir's like, are they? It's like, yeah, the front pulls apart when I lift my arms, and it's getting a little short. And she gets all excited. It's like, let's make you new clothes. Which do you want? What color do you like? She's pulling out like all kinds of different fabric. It's like, listen, before anything else, let me just say, it really doesn't have to be embroidered, okay? She's like, but what if you get sick? It's like, that won't happen again. I'm not a child anymore, and I can't have these good fortune charms sewn into my clothes forever. And she's like, no, but just to be safe. It's like, I really think there should be some embroidery. He's even going talking to his father to lament, like, and she says that she'll be worried if she doesn't embroider something on it. But I'm not an infant who's going to go take ill and pass away suddenly or anything. You saw how much I grew, right? She doesn't have to worry so much. It's like I'm always being mothered. I think it's about time I was treated like an adult. And his father's like, Karluk, is it because you can't be relied upon as a husband? And he's just looking like all ashamed and downcast. It's like, you're younger, it's true, but you have to show her your manliness. That will ease her worries and she'll let you be. Like, be a man. And he's like, now, dear, you may be right that you've outgrown those risks, but the real concern here is Amir's fear. And the grandfather's like, huh? What's up? What is it? And Jeff, there are times when I feel sure that he's going to be fine, that nothing will happen. But I would still worry if we suddenly removed all of the charms. It's just, if you were to become sick again, I also know that there are times when nothing you do will help. But even if even a little evil can be deterred, I'd prefer he wears clothes with embroidery for just a little longer. And the grandfather is like, I don't know. I understand your fears, but Amir, remember when he caught his cold? You got yourself too worked up back then. And the brother is like, I understand how Karluk feels about this. He isn't a child anymore, so being treated like one is grating. He's a man now. Still, Amir has anxieties over this. Why not let her do what calms her? If anything happened, it would hit Amir the worst. You saw her when Karluk had that fever. He's like, so the man's feelings have no bearing? He's like, what does that mean? What's it to him? It means she cares for him. It's like, Seliki, you're just... It's like, hey, why are you two getting all worked up? And they're all silent. And she goes, Mother, do you have any thoughts on the matter? And the grandmother's like, well, it's best for the rest of us to stay out of it. They say not even a dog will touch a married couple's fight. And you see both of them looking embarrassed. Yeah, say, did you hear? The owner of the metal workshop died. It's like, is that right? He seemed to be up and running his shop as usual the other day. It's like, it was very sudden. Come to think of it, Wari's little brother died too. It's like, I didn't hear that. It's such a shame. He was so young. I'll have to go pay them a visit. It's like, it's so sad. And you see, like, you're just getting like all worried by like hearing this gossip. And you have a person can seem completely healthy, but one bad turn and he could be gone in the blink of an eye. If Karluk were to suddenly pass away, I don't know what I'd do. And you see, I cannot remember Braided Girl's name, but Braided Girlfriend is there. He's like, yes, you're very close, aren't you? It's like, I've never felt this way before. The more dearly you hold someone, the worse your anxiety gets. Maybe this is what love is. She just like sad as steam gets, now she blushes. She's like, but you know what? I think you're overdoing it. It's like, you think so too? It's like, sure I do. You worry too much. I mean, if it were me, I'd trust him to look after himself and send him out into the world. Look, if you overdo it with precautions, it just puts stress on the one you're worrying over. And as a wife, it's bad to put too much stress on your husband, right? And she kind of looks a little bit forlorn. It's like, you're right. Like, see you, don't overthink things so much, okay? And she just like runs away all embarrassed. Oh, Paria, that was her name. You see later with Paria, what, you're back already? So what's the matter, Paria? Hey! She just got like slumped over on her bed. You see later that night with coming to bed, Amir? It's like, not yet, in a bit. Carl looks over and is like, Amir, could you stand up a moment? It's like, yes. And you see him just like grabbing around the waist, like hoisting her up into the air. He just drops her down and he just like takes off his shirt and is like, Amir, it's like, I'm not a weakling. So I'm taller than I used to be and I'll be 13 years old soon. I'm just as strong as you are. And she kind of just flumps to the ground in shock with a, yes. It's like, I know I may catch a cold now and then and I may get feverish too. But anyway, if you fuss over me, it makes me feel like I'm not reliable. And how do I put this? A man should not be like that. Like you're just like about to cry as he goes and hugs her and goes, it'll be all right, okay? I won't die on you and leave you behind. So just trust me, please. And she looks like steels herself and goes, I understand. I won't worry anymore. And you see, whoo, and a whoosh, the cold wind blows in, and he sneezes with an achoo! And she's about to like reach out and like concern, and she stops herself and goes, I'm not worried. I'm not worried in the slightest. And you see the next day she's made him some fancy new clothes to wear. Yeah, if you don't know, doesn't Karluk seem much more mature these days? It's like, you think so? It's like, it's true, he's always been reliable, but now he's become so manly. Boys can grow up so quickly, you know? And you have, as he's going, like, maybe I'll extend the stirrups a bit. They've been feeling a bit short recently. And you see you're just looking all besotted with, like, what? It's like, no, it's nothing. Nothing at all. So you have chapter 29, Grazing Land. And you see Amir's brother, like, starting a herd of horses. And you have the horses. Horses are livestock, but they aren't just any livestock. Horses don't like grazing on land that was previously grazed. One must always search for new land to graze them on. They aren't as easy to raise as sheep or camels. They must be watched night and day, so feeding them takes time. Once you leave with them, you're on the road for many days. And you see that they like unburdens his horse and takes off all the saddles and everything so it can go like relax and drink for a while. And you have horses that are livestock, but they aren't just any livestock. If the number of his sheep represents a nomad's wealth, then the number of his horses represents the strength of a nomad's pride. You see like a baby foal horses just playing together, and one of them accidentally gets knocked into the river. And you see the brother going in, like rescuing it, like taking it out and tossing it out. And you see as he's like stripping his wet clothing off. And you have Azel. It's like, what happened to you? It's like, Azel. It's like a foal fell into the river. He's like, what? That could have been bad. It's like, foals that age know no boundaries. Take your eyes off them and there's no telling what they'll get up to. He's like, is something wrong? He's like, oh, well, nothing wrong, but I figured you'd be running short on food right about now, so I bought you some. Here. He's like, is that right? It's like, how are the horses, Azel? Do they have enough to graze on? And he's silent before he goes, no, they don't. I herd them to new pastures every day, but there are limits. There's only so much grazing land the sheep haven't gotten to. It's like, grazing land, huh? So losing all that land to the Numaji was a blow. The old men have been especially cranky lately. So that's because we'll have to buy it from others if we don't have enough, even if it brings shame on us to buy feed grass. And Hazel's like, I thought it was odd for you to be bringing food. Was this your excuse to slip out of the council meetings? I was like, sure, I don't want it taken out on me. It's like, well, that isn't the only reason. It's like, Hazel, we'll watch the horses. You take a gallop and dry yourself off. Watching them all the time, you don't get a chance to relax. We'll take over for a bit. He's like, that's true. He's like, take some water too and be back before sunset. He's like, right. Kaoru and Mori just feeding the masses with this. You see him like riding off shirtless. And you see as he spots some hares, he decides to like dismount and go hunting. You have rabbits provide meat, but their pelts don't bring nearly as much as fox or tiger. Still, one has to go out hunting regularly or his bow arms grow weak. And he sees this magnificent looking stag nearby. And you see as he walks back with, those are some horns. It's like, we should be able to get some feed grass by selling them. It's like, true. It's like, that's great. And you have Joruk. It's like, huh? What? You expect me to skin? As he tosses him the rabbit. It's like, you aren't doing anything else. You can at least do that. It's like, this is such a pain. It's like, hey, keep out of this. This ain't anything you guys can use. You like the curious foals are like coming up to him. You have the horses. Horses are livestock, but they aren't just any livestock. Azel will inherit his father's position of clan chief. The fact that they leave the horses to him is proof of their expectations of him. You have Azel going, leave half. It's like, huh? That's more work later. Let's eat it all now. It's like in normal times, the father must die before the son inherits. In normal times. Jeff, you always cut it up too fine. Like, shut up. Either do it yourself or don't complain. It's like, I'm not complaining. He looks off to the side and like, what is it, Azel? And they see a rider coming up. It's like, here comes trouble. It's Uncle Togan. They realize we skipped out. He goes, Azel, your father has sent for you. Come. And he looks back at the herd and goes, the horses haven't been fattened nearly enough. It's like, it doesn't matter. Come. This is far more important. A meeting with the Badan has been set up. We leave soon. And you see him getting a serious look because like, what about us? It's like, everyone is to come and hurry up. See him getting all his clothes. You have with too little grazing land and too much pride to buy feed. The only remaining option is to seize what is needed. The battle begins. So you have chapter 30, meeting with the Badan. It all started when a Halgal girl sent to the Numaji clan as a bride died. The Numaji are the most powerful landowners in the region. As long as they were related by marriage, the Halgal also benefited from their wealth. They had their pick of lush grasslands on which their livestock could graze. But their lands were only accessible as long as there was a bride. Without a family tie, there was no reason for the Numaji to continue to allow access to their lands. The Numaji told the Halgal to leave their lands. This caused a great deal of distress among the Halgal. It seems like an argument. It's like, what happens to us without that land? Winter will come. Without enough land to keep them fed, the livestock will die of starvation. And without livestock, our people won't be able to survive. So we have to keep our marriage bond with the Numaji no matter what it takes. Someone, send some other marriageable girl. I don't care who. Have the Halgal set their sights on Amir. We just sent her off a short time ago. She can't have had children yet. Fetch her back and send her to the Numaji. Have a little flashback to when they tried to come take her back. Yeah, but it did not go as they planned. The townspeople put up stiff resistance, and the Halgal were unable to retrieve Amir. Soon the Numaji forced the Halgal off their grazing lands. Conditions became more strained. They had to find new grazing land immediately for their own survival, and if not, the only option that remained to them was to steal it. You see there, I assume the father with like his little eye patch on. As you have, Azel, what is it? If you have something to say it. He goes, Father, would it not be more to our advantage to seek help from someone else? It's like you failed once, there's no more time to waste. We can finish this more quickly with allies on our side. Would you rather we sacrifice more than we need to? Amir alone could have solved our problem. A problem with a simple solution, but now it's gotten complicated. So we can't trust them. So what do you know about it? The Badan share our blood. We're branches of the same family. It's like, Father, our clan separated long ago. To expect his aims to be in line with ours may not be wise. There's also a rumor that the Badan are in bed with the Russians. It's like, what of it? We will all become mere pawns for their purposes. It's like, be silent, Azel. Does a son defy his own father? You know nothing. Do not pretend you do. Keep a sharp eye. We're getting close. You see him setting up to this village. Someone's greeting them like arms outstretched. Jav, I bid you welcome, my brethren. Let us walk hand in hand, bearing each other's burdens. And as one family, we shall increase the strength of both clans. Jav, I'm Berkarat, leader of the Halgal. I am pleased to find you in good health. He goes, I am Al Tamas of the Badan. Please make yourself comfortable. I already know your situation. You've got it rough, eh? I know how bad winter can make things. We've had hard times when we've lost livestock too. So of course we'll help. We would never close our ears to the cries of starving sheep. So, where's the land we're going to take? Someplace close by would be preferable. So we have a place in mind, a village just beyond the mountains. There's some bad blood between us and that town, so we'd like to, let's assume that's Amir's village. There's bad blood between us and that town, so we'd like to take it. There's good land there too. Yeah, but where is it? It's like, not bad. It's like, one of my daughters is there. I want to reclaim her while we are there. It's like, trying to search for someone in the middle of an attack is asking a lot. It's like, do not worry. We'll draw her out before the fighting begins. It's like, won't she alert the townspeople? It's like, she will not disobey her father. It's like, I suppose not. It's like, that is decided. That's where we attack. And I see one of the others whispering something into the father's ear. Yeah, now, let us discuss how to divide the spoils. Oh, we don't need to bother with that. It's like, a single family is like a single horse. The legs never consider stealing what the mouth eats. After all, it's the entire body that prospers because of it. But let's see, I'd like us to agree that any man can claim what he finds for himself. He's like, of course, it is only natural. It's like, how do we attack? Shouldn't we have a plan? It's like, who needs a plan? It's like, I'll show you. It's quicker than explaining. Oh, and you see how he takes out one of the barnyards. You see he has a bunch of cannons stored inside. He goes, you see 200 smaller arms in front. Those are grenades in back, and here are 18 light cannons. The gunpowder is all prepared. The firearms are both muzzle loading and breech loading. Altogether we have, I forget just how many, but there are plenty of them. And enough bullets to choke a horse. It's like, all made in Russia? It's like, I bought them. The Russians may be uncultured provincials, but they make good weapons. It's like, and anyone can use them? It's like, of course. These are like toys compared to bows. Even a child could use these. And here we have some experienced men to show you how. With all this, any village will fall in half a day. If we kill them all, nobody will be left to make a fuss. You have a true. As you as they're feasting, later that night as they're feasting and celebrating. You see Azel sneaking outside. And as he's standing in the barn, you have Azel. He's like, what's wrong? Something up with the horses? It's like, the horses are fine. I had no desire to be in there, so I'm here. And Jorok's like, way to be tactful about it. He said, Jorok, Baimat, what do you two think of this? And Jorok's like, nothing. It's not my place to stick my neck out. The old men give orders and I follow them. It's like, I asked what you think of it, Jorok. It's like, that Badan elder makes me want to toss him off a cliff. He'll help us, but isn't interested in dividing the spoils? Do deals that good exist? Even I can see that, and I'm an idiot. And Azel's like, I want to slap our uncles and wake them up, but if I did, they'd kill me. He's like, Baimad, it's like, much the same for me. It's hard to see people being drawn in by short-term bait, especially when it's your own family. It's like, I consider taking everyone here and beating them. And Azel's like, I consider taking everyone here and beating them to death. And Jorok's like looking at him surprised, like, scary. Like, stealing in order to survive, I can understand that. Everyone lives that way. If we win, we gain. If we lose, we lose. Simple as that. However, we are to use our own strength in all that. They bought the weapons? If they had the fortune required to buy those, why would they still be fearful of losing their herds in the winter? The only explanation is that Russia fronted them the weapons in hopes that we wipe each other out. Horses live off the land, birds fly through the sky, and we live freely as no man's pawn. We would rather die than do Russia's dirty work for them. Dorok's like, well, yeah. And Baiamon's like, so, what do we do, Azel? As he guys are all looking like serious and like thoughtful. Is he back with Amir and Karlik? Yeah, ready? Let's do it. As they're doing a little arm wrestling contest. He's like, "Grr." He's like, do it for real. He's like trying to strain against her. And you see, he just like flies his hands down. He's like, I lost. He's like, only for the time being. He's like, yeah. Yeah, chapter 31, Cannon Barrage. You see next to it, the snick snap as Karlik's getting a haircut from Amir. It's like, does it itch? It's like, no, it's fine. It's like, you're cutting his hair? It's like, yes, it was getting long. It's like, you seem practiced. Have you cut hair before? And Amir's like, I've done quite a lot of sheep shearing. It's like, there, we're all finished. It's like, yeah, thank you. It's like, oh, all done then? You look much better. And the brother's like, it's like you're back to being you. The father's like, it's about time I went to the barber myself. So come to think of it, I haven't cut the kids' hair recently. It's like, no, you always pull their hair. It's like, it does not hurt that much. It's like, hey, come back here. You see how he's like running along, and she's like singing to herself. Someone just throws a little pebble at her back. She looks around in confusion. Jeff, Amir, come here a second. And you see Jorok just like beckoning to her from behind a pile of firewood. And she looks over in shock, and she's like, I'm here alone, don't worry, I just want to talk. He's like, I'm in trouble if anyone finds me, so please, just for a second. He's like, what are you doing here, Jorok? He's like, well, after what happened, you know I can't. He's like, Amir, your father's here. He hasn't given up on you. Just now, he gave me orders to bring him to you. And she's like, I'm not going. It's like, I know that, and I'm fine with it. You don't have to come. Nothing good would come of it anyway. He's like, you remember the Badan? It's like, if I recall, they're distant relations. It's like, well, now they're Russian stooges. Your father and the elders have thrown in their lots with the Badan. He's like, why? What does that mean? It's like, I hate to say it, but I think they've been conned. Completely taken in by sweet-sounding promises. They've got cannons, guns, and a whole mountain of Russian-made weapons, and they're headed here. This isn't just a fight between two families. They want to seize all of this land, and they're serious. He's like, Amir, you have to get out of here now. Let me just wet my throat a little bit. He's like, it'd be one thing if this village could stop the attack, but I don't think that's possible. If you're worried about your family here, then take them with you. I don't care where you guys go, but go right now, okay? And she's looking like all fearful. She looks back. She goes, I can't. He's like, wait, listen, this is going to get really nasty. It isn't a joke, okay? I'm not exaggerating. People are going to die here, maybe you too. And you see a doom and a boom. You see a bunch of explosions. He's like, they've already begun the assault. That's awful. I'm still here. And you hear all the townspeople just like muttering. He's like, I'm begging you, Amir, run away from here. Those guys aren't going to pick and choose who they kill. They want land, not homes. They're going to flatten the whole place. Not even we can help save you. She's like, still, I can't run away. The townspeople will fight. If the townspeople fight, then Karlik, my husband, will fight with them. And if my husband is fighting, I can't run off on my own. I am his wife. I see Jarluk's just kind of like looking all tired as you have a Kadoom and a Amir, as Karlik's calling for her nearby. He's like, Amir, there are about 80 Badan clansmen and 18 cannons. Each man is carrying 2 guns. You can't count on them running out of bullets. It's like, I have to get back. Try to stay alive. Your brother would be heartbroken. It's like, you too, Jorok. You're a doom and a thoom nearby. It's like, I hope we're both lucky, as he vaults over the wall and runs. He's like, Amir! It's like, thank God I found you. I thought you had left town. A house out there was hit. They're firing from that rise over there. Everyone's saying it's probably the Russians. And she's like, it's the Badan clan. They've joined forces with my people, the Halgal. He's like, how do you know? It's like, I was just told. I'll explain everything later. It's like, listen, Karlik, the Badan are a single clan, but there are 80 fighting men. They carry the same weapons as the Russians. If they have horsemen, that makes them worse than the Russians. There are 18 cannons and each man is carrying 2 guns. I heard that they don't expect to run out of bullets, so a drawn-out battle will pull us at a disadvantage. If the Halgal's numbers are the same as when I left, there will be 42 riders. They will carry bows and swords, all of them more skilled than I am. You must not let them sight you. If they charge with more than 100 horsemen, we will not be able to stop them the way we did before. We need a barricade to stop the horses. They aren't after me this time. They mean to raze this town to the ground. We must keep their intentions in mind as we plan a defense. And you see another explosion nearby walking into a wall. And you see Carl just kind of grabbing Amir's arm tight. He goes, Amir, I'm your wife. I'm ready to fight. Now hurry, tell everyone else. And you go see her grabbing her arrows and a quiver. She kind of just like prays before she heads out again. And you see Carla going and like warning all the elders and like telling them what's happening. And you have an attack! And you see them going in like getting their own weaponry and getting ready to fight. You see them pulling out their own cannons and start like loading and like firing back and forth. And you see explosions like rocketing out throughout the town. Jeff, don't get yourself hit! Retreat! Retreat! It's like, what about our cannons? It's like, they can't reach the top of the rise. So you gotta be kidding me. Damn those people! And you see on the next page with a ceasefire. As the father goes, that should do. From what I can see, the town is more or less in ruins. We'll take it from here. And the Badan elder's like, shouldn't we do the thing thoroughly and keep at them with the cannons a little longer? It's like, no, we have a wide breach now. It'll be quicker to go and engage them directly. Most likely they retreated farther back to avoid the cannons. We must rout them now before they can regroup. Jeva, let's go! As the horsemen all like kick off galloping. And he goes, we'll pull back the cannons and follow after you. We'll pick off anyone trying to escape the town. The fuckers are absolutely going to try to kill them and take them all out at once, right? You see him just like grinning suspiciously as Azel takes off. Yeah, chapter 32, cavalry charge. Yeah, it's the enemy, they're here! Stop them, stop them! And you see a bunch of them just like ridden over by the horses, and you see a bunch of others getting shot with bows and arrows. Jeff, you bastards, how dare you! And you go, clopping a whoa! As Azel comes up riding behind him, grabs the rifle off him, breaks it, and then throws it back. And as they're heading up, you see one of them pulling out a sword and like slicing through more of the villagers. Jeff, stop the horses! Bring them down! And you see them trying to spear at them. And you see the horse rider just like slinging off the saddle to the side so they can cut at their legs. Jeff, don't let any of them escape! Finish them all! Jeff, they aren't even worth fighting. It's like, that building is the central meeting hall. That's where their elders should be. Let's take it down. Jeff, they're pushing farther in. This is bad. I see them having set up like a little barricade to try and stop them. It's like, huh, you think that will stop our horses? And she just like gallops and leaps over it. Jeff, like, God! And Orga's like, have more of them get cut down. Jeff, everyone over here, come on! You see, you're not getting away. And you see as they routed them into like this empty village square area. Jeff, where are they? Where did they all go? And you see like fire from like as they're using their guns from like the rooftops to start sniping them. It's like, retreat! Go no farther! And you see a boom as there's a cannon explosion to like traveling some rubble. Or it's a cannon explosion from the Badan. It's the Badan! We have reinforcements! And you have, keep away from them! And you see that it was indeed there, like the Badan are coming with their rifles and are shooting them all down. It's like, stop it, we're Hallgal, the enemy's in front. Yeah, what the? They're fighting each other? And you see another explosion cannon. It's like, what is this? What's going on here? Yeah, fire, fire, drag out the ones in hiding. Everyone in front of us is the enemy. You have chapter 33 with, these aren't stray shots, it's us they're aiming at. It's like, why are the Badan firing at us? They're supposed to be allies. And Jorok's like, they were never allies. Didn't I tell you so? It's like, they betrayed us. They betrayed us, haven't they? Yeah, chapter 33, Azel's offensive. And he's like, uncles, use the side streets and get out of town. It's like, Azel, you think you could order us? It's like, you think this is the time to argue chain of command? If we don't retreat while we have the chance, we'll all be wiped out. He's like, damn it. You have Jorok, Baimont, go make father retreat too. If he won't, then convince whatever elders you can and head back to camp. I'll stay here and make sure no Badan survives this. It's like, don't be a fool, Azel. Now's not the time for that. It's like, how many of our family have they slaughtered? You think I'll let that stand? It's like, maybe, but think of where we are. Chase them too far and you'll end up dead. They plan to kill everyone here, including us. But this can be our chance. They'll be off their guards. They think they're the predators hunting down prey. Now is the best time. It's like, let go. It's like, Azel. It's like, Jorok, just let him be. Jorok. Baimot's like, he'll do what he sees fit. We have to find the elders. It's like, damn it. And you see Azel running off. And he sees the roofs nearby as he runs off. vaults up onto the top so he can pincer behind the Badan. He's like, go, 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 don't let them escape. Look, there's more hiding over there. It's like, this is so much fun. And you have a hunt. As an arrow takes him through the throat from behind. He's like, he's dead. The chief's been killed. It's like, what did you say? It's like, where? Where did it come from? And you see Azel like running off as they're firing at him. And you see as he runs back to his horse, you see... Did he do that deliberately? Or is this an accident? So you see one as they're trying to like fire off the cannons, one of the sparks falls into the explosives bin and sets it off. And you see that fire's blocking his way. You have the gunpowder! Fire got into the gunpowder! So did it explode? What was that? I can't see! Did you have fire spreading this way? You'll get trapped in the smoke! And as they're riding, you see Azel just like firing off and taking down more of the Badan. Like, there, after him, don't let him get away! You see him racing off past all these traps, like dodging back and forth, like trying to drive these guys into like these little ditches. Yeah, there he is, it's him! Box him in, cut him off! As he's being chased and slashed at. You have another one over there. He fires off a shot at him. And as the elder falls down, he sees Karluk's brother nearby. And he kind of just looks in surprise and he just rides off. He's like, what was with him? It's like, hey, hang in there. He's like, he spared our lives? And you have a father! It's like, that's Amir's. And you see as the father's trying to like slash at Karluk, you see Starluk like ineffectually trying to like menace him with a spear. It's like, bastard, how dare you! And you see the father like slashing out like he cuts Karluk's spearhead off. And you have, I won't make it in time. And you see thunk as an arrow takes the father's horse in the neck. And you see that kind of unbalances him enough that he just like lashes out with a kick for Karluk. And you see Amir like hiding in a tower nearby. She jumps down, like rushes towards the father to pull Karluk out of the way. And like she snaps at him with the bow to knock the sword out of his hand. And as he collapses, he just like looks there, kind of like in a torn mood. Oh, she's pounced on him, like pinned him down. And you see Amir, Amir, Amir. He's like, hey, hold it, stop right there. And you have out of the way bridegroom as Azel just walks up. You have chapter 34. And you have out of the way bridegroom. He's like, stay back! And he just like focuses like a little dagger at him and he just grabs it. He's like, let go! It's like, damn you! And he just tosses Karluk to the side and goes, Amir, release him. He's like, don't touch Amir! And you see as he goes, get down, as he sees more of the Badan riding up. And you have an Urka! And you see another cannon shot firing up behind him. He's like, get behind that wall, run! And takes him to safety. He's like, brother? It's like, damn you, Amir. How dare you raise a hand to your father? It's like, my Badan friends, the enemy has fled that way. After them. He's like, father, as they fire off a bunch of shots at him. And he's like, Amir, this way, hurry. And Azel's like, Amir, listen, the enemy has no leader anymore. Only remnants remain. They're scattered. You can overwhelm them with numbers. Let the village elder know that. He's like, but what's going to happen to you? He's like, I'm your enemy now. You have no time to be worrying about your enemy. He's like, boy, get Amir out of here. And Karluk's like trying to like, Amir's like, just go. And you have over there, stop them. And you see Azel just throw a block at their backs as he like draws out his saber. He's like, it's him, avenge the chief, kill that man. This guy have no bow and no horse. How many mounted warriors can I hope to defeat? The first 4? No, 5. When I can't take any more then, that will be... And you see as one of the horses like riding on him, he's trying to like deflect all their sword blows. And you see like as he's trying to like dodge through all of them, he's like, brother! You have Azel! As Jorah comes riding into his rescue. And you see that they both trip and fall. And comes getting into a halt. And you have Azel! And he tosses him his bow and arrow. And you see that Bahamut and Jorah both come in to kind of play defensive shields. It's like, first we take out the ones holding guns. Hit them while they're loading. They shouldn't have any bullets in their rifles. And he's like, you're sure about that? It's like, probably. It's like, Bahamut, Jorah, go right. You see him just firing off like a volley of arrows. And yeah, surround them! And you see him running around taking more. It's like, bastard! And you see Amir kind of wrapping like an improvisational sling with a little scarf, so like ties a rock in it and throws it off. You see a deuce and a thud as Azel's finishing off the ones that are left. You see Amir going to like try and help and support him. He's like, over there, come on, men! And Karluk's like, wait, hold on, everyone, these men aren't the enemy! They're like, out of the way! And you see them all like rushing towards Azel's like, brother! You have chapter 35, like, last of the enemy, kill them! As they all pin them down. He's like, don't, please! It's like, everyone stop, they aren't the... So you have what one deserves, and you see a bunch of mounted infantry and like camels riding in. I don't think I've ever seen camels like that. And you have Amir just dashing in with brother, who's gone like all bloodied and bruised. And you have, we're security troops under the command of the regional lord. We came when we received word that this town was under attack. Where is your elder? I need an update on the situation. And you have, are you the elder of this town? It's like, yes, I am. Where are the attackers? What is the status of battle? Speak. He's like, yes, I offer my respect and allegiance to the right and noble lord of these lands, and my sincerest gratitude for sending such a strong force of troops in our support. Like, skip the fine words. I don't see any enemy. What happened? When were you attacked? It was like a short while ago. It began before noon. It's like, do you know what clans attacked you? It's like the Hulgal and Badan, 2 horse clans from the north. It's like, this is the second time the Hulgal have attacked. It's like, that's right. They don't know when to give up. They first came to seize a woman of this town, but we sent them running. For this they bore a grudge against us, and this time they brought allies to attack us. Their intent was to steal our land. It's like, what happened to these clans? Did they run, or did they go to attack a different town? It's like, we killed a lot of them. They don't exist anymore. It's like, is this true? If they ran, we must give chase. It's like, I doubt there's any need. They've lost most of their horses and weapons. Even if a few stragglers have survived, they won't have the will to fight anymore. It's like, to better understand what's happened, we'll have to question these enemy prisoners. And he gestures to Osel nearby. He's like, no, they may have been the enemy, but they aren't the enemy. It's like, what does that mean? And you hear all the women rushing forward. Wait just 1 minute. You let those men go this instant and don't even think about torturing them. Are you people blind? So can't you even tell a friend from an enemy? People who save lives deserve to have their lives saved. And the soldier's like, what is this? Explain yourselves now. Jeff, yes, like we were hiding in the upper rooms and saw everything. It happened right after one of our girls jumped from the window. That man saved the lives of 2 of our own. They owe him their lives. Don't you dare mistreat him. It's like, you know, I think he saved our lives too. It's like, he saved us too, I think. And the brother's like, it's true. He's the one who saved us. It's like, he took on all those enemy troops by himself, and he never once turned his weapons on us. I think one clan betrayed the other. And the headmaster's like, hey, quiet now, quiet. It's like, just who are you? Aren't you one of the enemy clansmen? And you have Jorok going, one clan doesn't mean one mind. He's like, Jorok, it's like, when you get enough people together, you're going to have differences of opinion. The same thing happens here too, right? It's like, where's the leader of the Badan? It's like, nowhere. He's dead. It's like, and your chief? And he's just silent as the head chief goes, this can wait. It appears this will be more complicated than I thought. So you're coming with me. We have things to discuss. It's like, come on, stand up. And you see like the mob just like rushing them away. It's like, put out the fires. We need to search for wounded. And you see as Amir's like looking down at Carla, she sees like her hand is getting all bloodied. And she's looking like both furious and like frightened. She's like, there's blood on your shoulder. And he's like, eh? Oh, I guess so. It's like, I guess I was grazed by a sword. But I'm okay. It doesn't hurt much. It's like, it doesn't hurt. It's like, and he staggers. Like, Carl, look! It's like, please, someone fetch a doctor. I need a doctor. And she just like goes running off with him. And he said they're jarring a crunch as there's a blood trail as the wounded father's walking away with, damn them. Don't think I'll forget this, those bastards. None of them will escape me. Not Amir, not the townsfolk, not the Badan, not one of them. Not one, not one. May their land see drought, their trees dry up and die, and their livestock all starve. Let the dogs eat their corpses. They'll be cursed forever. Those wriggling, filthy lice. And he sees 2 horses nearby. He's like, riderless horses. Just what I need. Once I'm back at camp, I can manage somehow. Just you wait. I'll burn your whole damn village to the ground. I'll fill a cart with kindling, roll it into town, and you see an arrow just taking him in the back as he drops with a calf. You see the badass old grandma just having her bow notched with, for pity's sake, what a fool. I suppose there are times when a man gets just what he deserves, as she gallops back. He's in the back of the arm, he like waits up with a tearful Amir over him. He's like, huh? Did I just... It's like, you're awake, thank goodness! You suddenly blacked out! It's like he had lost a lot of blood. It was anemia, but that's all, so there's nothing to worry about. He's like, Amir, I'm sorry, I'm all right. He sees the grandmother nearby. He's like, are you well? He's like, I am. It's like, the bleeding has stopped, and you young people heal fast. It's like, now then, Amir, your father is dead. No one will be coming to take you from here again. She kind of like pats her on the shoulder. And she later that night, she's like tending to her brother's wounds with, that's enough, Amir. I'll heal without all that fuss. You're overdoing it. And she's like, but father is. And she starts tearing up. He's like, don't cry, Amir. I knew that this might happen. It's like, you always did cry too much. Yeah, I don't have much to say on the afterward. So I did like, well, let's get some quick thoughts on this volume. I did like how kind of delved into like the politics and like the history of this, where it's like, oh, everything is not always like, peaches and roses and like, all nice and sweet things. There was like, constant like fights for like territory battles. You have to watch for raiders and stuff and things like that. That said, I feel like even though there was, like blood actually spilled, I do feel like the war stuff was a little bit bloodless. It's because I feel like, Bride Story being the kind of series it is, like lighthearted, mostly like everyday slice of life stuff. You can't really, I feel like, get too much into the weeds with like, the horrors of war, like brutality and things like that. So you gotta have to keep it to a minimum. So a lot of the like the war stuff, I feel like didn't like feel as impactful or as serious as it should have. Uh, but yeah, I mean, like I like the factors included in the penalty. I feel like because I know there's like limits to what it could have, how far it could have gotten with the stuff. But yeah, you have to kind of in a story like this build tension and drama somehow into it. So it's interesting in that regard. Apart from that, I'm glad we just kind of got more screen time for the brother and kind of like the other side of that with like the different cast and things. So I did enjoy that part of it. We have not much more to say because it's very much like an action-packed volume. We had like a lot of scenes of like fighting and riding and stuff. So not too much more to say with that. It was a good volume. I did enjoy like how like you see like the McKees when like the whole thing of like the patriarch, like the car like being like, oh, I have to be like a man. It's like I'm not a kid anymore. Like I need to be taken seriously, which is just super adorable because he's a teenager. And he's like trying to be like taken all serious and like all mature and stuff, like trying to show off in front of his wife, who's vastly more skilled and like stronger than him. That was super adorable. But yeah, not much more else to say with regards to that. So with all that said, I hope you all did enjoy this video. Like I mentioned, Akane Banashi will be out today, and the Spy Family will be out on Sunday. Shonen Jump will be on break, and they'll be back in 2 weeks. So it's going to be back on the 19th. So look forward to that when that comes back. Like I mentioned, Berserk will also be hitting the channel hopefully next weekend, so look forward to that as well. So a lot of good stuff going to be coming your way, so if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.